What's going on, guys? I'm Weston Mack, and welcome to the finale of Rwby Volume 9. This has been a very long journey in the making, sort of not much work for me just looking at stuff and reacting, but for mostly the Rwby team. With that, if you want to skip to the reaction, I'll leave a little timestamp right there, and let's just go over some of the episodes. In Episode 1, Team Rwby fell onto the mystical world of the Ever After. Almost forgot it for a second. We met Little, and Team Rwby was reunited pretty much instantly. By the end of the episode, we're introduced to the Jabberwocky, a much bigger player than I thought he was going to be, or they at this point. And also, we kind of begin the descent of Rwby after she found out about Penny's death from Weiss. Episode 2, we are in our next section of the world, the little toy section. They're pretty adorable, and I love them. Of course, we have the trader guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he was kind of cool. I can never forget the little exchange of hugs after because he wanted his return back, so he gave the hug back. It's so good. And also a very emotional speech from Rwby talking about Penny without actually saying her name. I thought that was probably one of the best written parts of the whole show right there. But then going into Episode 3, we're introduced into the Red Prince. Almost forgot his name. I'm going off all of this by memory. I haven't watched the episodes again. I'm just strictly based off the reaction memory. But we are introduced to the Red Prince, and he was something. Of course, I'm messing around. Probably one of the craziest new characters we got. Really funny episode, a great choreography, insane music. Probably one of my favorite episodes of the season, period. Episode 4, we're introduced to the cat as well. I don't think much else goes on other than... Oh, and then Herb as well. And we get a really cool scene where we get to look back on the previous Volume 1 designs. Seeing them in Maya was super cool. Of course, we're going to see more of their designs, and I'm sure they already had it available for the Rwby Justice League movie, so it just worked out. Anyways, but Rwby got to really work on their emotions and push forward as a team, but then Rwby was sort of once again left behind, adding to the sort of dissension Rwby is already on and separating her from the team as... While it was kind of a crazy experience, Team Rwby was able to sort of make something good out of it while Rwby was sort of just pushed down. In Episode 5, we have a parfait predicament as Team Rwby makes the parfait and Rwby meets what I assume is possibly a part of the tree. Now looking back, it seems like their tree was sort of reaching out to her in some way. It was a little confusing at the time, but now looking back, it seems like the blacksmith is a part of the reincarnation process, so it makes sense that the tree was sort of reaching out to Rwby at this moment. Of course, we are introduced to Jean as the Rusted Knight would take out one of those Jabberwocky things. I think there's an actual name for it, I just keep calling them Jabberwockies. And now Jean is really old. In Episode 6, Weiss immediately hits on Jean. That's all that happened. Just kidding, it's bees time. Yeah, that's all I can remember from this episode, really. There was some really cool stuff when it comes to revealing more of Jean's history in the Ever After, but yeah, just the bee's kiss. Going into Episode 7, don't know what that was. Jean's paper friends that he named after all of his potentially dead friends. We need to look back on that. Anyways, his whole town gets flooded because of Rwby, basically. Yeah, it was kind of Team Rwby's fault because they ended up bringing the Jabberwockies because Neo hates Rwby and this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Rwby has a breakdown. And that's when we finally hit the, oh my gosh, Rwby's having a breakdown after like 8 seasons of holding it in. Yes, this was inevitable and they did it great. Holy cow, vocal performances, and I will save more of my like just general critiques of the whole volume later. But the vocal performances were so freaking good. Generally, that's all I can remember from Episode 7. Episode 8, however, is kind of crazy. Having Neo come back in full force using her new semblance. While we didn't get to see as much Neo as I probably wanted this volume, this episode enough does it for me. It is quintessential just Neo. Neo just using people's weaknesses against them more than just strength, but emotionally. Pure, Penny, Clover, which I don't think she knew about, the Lion Guy, Ozpin, Ironwood, all these people that she blames herself for getting killed. And of course, seeing all the animation again, oh my gosh, Pure, seeing Pure again, so good. My favorite, I'm hoping maybe Volume 10, she just comes back, no explanation, Neo brings her back, and that's the end of it. Neo finally beating Rwby and getting her one goal accomplished. Her one goal, meaning she had nothing left. And with that, the Curious Cat takes over Neo, and we have our big bad for the end of the season. Of course, Rwby now is at the tree and going into Volume 9. Going into Episode 9, not Volume 9. We're already in Volume 9. It's Volume 9. Episode 9 wasn't crazy, and I expected that to happen, as they normally have the Episode 9s as the sort of setups for the finale, which are normally a little bit longer. Episode 9 sets up Neo as the final, Curious Cat technically, as the final villain. Jean gets hit off the tree, and probably saved by her, who knows. And Rwby is finally nearing her ascension, and we learn a little bit more about ascensions. Oh, and also Summer Rose. That was like crazy for her just to randomly appear. They show concept art, and we're probably never going to see her again. Anyways, but that's basically it for Rwby Volume 9. I am incredibly excited for what comes next in the final episode. I believe this, I know 100% for sure, this episode is the longest Rwby Volume 9 episode. It might be the longest Rwby episode of all time, but I cannot confirm that, as I did not check on that before recording this video. Rwby Volume 9, Episode 10, 26 minutes. I'm predicting it to be about 21, 22 minutes with credits. Once again, incredibly excited, and I hope you guys enjoy this final reaction. Yeah, let's get into it. Now, this is my reaction to Volume 9, Episode 10, the finale of Rwby. What's the name again? Of Solitude and Self. And we're going to start the reaction in 3, 2, 1, click. There we go. And with that, we get to listen to probably one of the best intros in Rwby history. This masterpiece, wherever I place it. Yeah, so freaking good. A different style of Rwby music, especially at the very beginning. But Casey kills it. This is her first Rwby her first Rwby album to helm, and she nailed it. I mean, of course, the animation team nailed it also on the Rwby intro side. I cannot think. I'm just so excited for this episode. Jesus. Yeah, this is such a good intro. Lots of cool teasers and stuff like that. I think that's probably one of the best bits about being in the Rwby community and also Rwby reactions is getting to sort of talk about these intros and like, ooh, is that Alex? Why is Rwby so far behind? What are all these different zones and stuff? Who's that? Stuff like that. And also looking back and seeing how absolutely wrong a lot of us were about our predictions about this volume. Also, that never happened. I always thought that was going to be a part of like the scene or something, but that never happened. Of course, seeing Jean pop up, a small little thing that I thought was really cool, them changing the intro for Jean. And of course, our final bits and pieces of the volume and seeing Neo and also Alex. I am crazy excited to see how they end this volume and what's next for the team Rwby, because Rwby's going to be back and it'll be with Jean, so Rwby. See? Rwby. Or
on the
Rwby?
wind,
Oh, Summer's back.
Alex heard one more question.
Ooh, we're back at Summer.
Are you?
Oh, so we're seeing the ending of what we saw last episode. Oh, full thing of Summer Rose. Turn up my volume a little bit if I can.
I love you. Just the way you are.
Oh, Summer. So
Always.
good. Oh, she left her medallion. That's what happened. Oh, we're seeing all of the house.
It's not like you to rush off on a mission in the middle
Bernie!
of
Bernie's back!
You know how Ozpin
tie in.
gets. Mystery after mystery.
And when it turns out to be yet another run-of-the-mill patrol, it'll be,
I always prefer discretion.
Oh.
I'll be back soon.
I know.
She's so small. I see where Rwby gets it from now. We're gonna see her final mission. Raven?
Nobody suspects anything?
No. They think it's a typical mission.
Oh,
Summer Rose
no.
telling lies. First time for everything.
Seeing Raven in the new engine as well looks incredibly good.
And, what about... You're just going to leave them?
You're one to talk.
It's... You're better at that life. Better than I was.
Yeah.
If I do this right, there's nothing to worry about.
Gosh, they look so good.
Trust me.
Come on, volume 10, come
Let's
on.
get it over with, I guess.
Oof. There's a third person, I think, if she's able to use the portal like that.
What was that?
Oh, she saw a vision.
She lied. She left with Raven.
She
Why
was-
would she?
Who
Sin.
knows why people keep the secrets they do?
Oh, no.
Maybe you're not the only one who has felt the weight of others' expectations. Like Alex. Like your mother.
Whoa, Ruby. What are you doing there, bud?
Are you just trying to tell me that it's useless? That I shouldn't even try?
Ruby, don't.
Is that the big lesson
Don't do
I'm
this.
supposed to learn? Just give up? Become someone else.
Is that what I'm telling you?
It's based off of her interpretation, really. Oh, he's gonna go back to
never
normal. Okay,
were a
good.
hero.
We're good. I think, maybe.
Alex,
I don't know.
You couldn't save me.
I
Oh,
couldn't save a lot of people.
Maybe it's time for a change. To be the kind of man you've always
I think this is the
wanted
first
to
time we're hearing Alex's voice as well. Ooh. Ooh, I think this is the tree. This might be the tree talking to him. I'm not sure. But that might actually be a part of Alex. Huh? Tree's on fire now? That can happen? Cat fight. Ooh. Come on, Blake. Freezer burn from volume 2, baby! Sick move. Ooh.
The leaves! Burn the leaves!
They're gonna burn the tree down! That's Yang's specialty. Or they're actually using their abilities to do it too.
Taking a page out of the caterpillar's book. The leaves have no effect on me. Maybe not. That's not the case for Neo.
Oh. Oh.
No!
They're gonna separate. Ruby, Cinder, her parents. Oh my gosh. Oh. I think they just saved Neo. Neo's alive! Let's go. But what's left of the cat? Uh-oh. Oh, that's a big boss. Holy cow, what? Ah,
Your time
Ruby.
is running out. You must choose.
So there is a...
Choose for yourself
Push.
one who could leave your burdens behind.
But I think
or
Ruby's having
choose
a
one
hard
who
time
will
figuring
be
out
enough to bear them.
what to do. She's looking for guidance, but she really isn't finding it in the blacksmith. All these random weapons. It's like scimitars or whatever. Ooh. Aura break. Juniper's there. Come on. Is that Alex's dagger?
I love you,
Oh,
just the way you are.
is that Crescent Rose? Oh, here we go. There is no need to
This one.
change.
What happens if I choose me?
Then maybe that girl is enough.
Oh boy. Come on. Come on. Let's go, Ruby. Trailer music. Oh yeah, here we go. Red like roses. Ooh. It looks like the volume 1 look too.
Ruby!
That was cool.
You're you. How?
She knew what she needed to be all along.
Yes, sir. Random cat pun. That's sick. Oh. Let's go, Casey. Oh, she's back. He has not dealt with Rwby. Team Ruby's back at it again. Let's go, Blake. Let's go, gang. Everybody's in their semblances today. Nevermore. Oh, this music slaps. Holy cow! Did not know. Ooh. Some color coordination right there. I did not know Weiss could summon that many servers at one time.
Broken. You break everything you touch.
Oh my gosh.
Like all humans, weak, confused, incomplete.
No, you're wrong. She's never been any of those things. That's why we follow her.
Some good
We're
animation
going
right
to
there.
Remnant, and you're staying
Hey,
here.
go get Jean. What are you guys doing? Oh. Uh-oh. Thanks, Neo. Rwby? She's gonna reach a hand out for Neo, I think.
To have what they have. What a thing, huh?
I think that world's gonna need a new Curious Cat. Don't.
So, that's it then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not real.
What about her?
Oh? She's gonna stay in the ever after. That's what I was
She'll
thinking.
find herself. One way or another.
Since she really doesn't have a purpose anymore, yeah, she's gonna be one with the tree until she finds a purpose. I thought I was thinking it was gonna happen to Neo. They wouldn't just let her off to go back to Remnant. But she's gonna find a new purpose there, especially with the Curious Cat gone.
Rwby? What's wrong?
When I was in the tree, I never saw Little.
Oh, yeah,
I
Little.
wish I could say thank you.
I
Do
mean,
you guys think
Little-
we might have made things even worse in the
Little
Ever
shouldn't have
After?
died, because they don't
Just
die
like
in the
Alex
Ever
did.
After area. But
I'm not sure. I'd like to think that we did at least a little good.
with the Curious Cat gone, I think they might have.
Wait!
Oh, there's Little.
Little! Do I know you?
Oh, I don't believe we've met yet.
Oh.
Please, what are you?
Well, you know, I haven't thought about it yet. You look like you have your wits about you. What do you think I am?
Well, to me, you seem like a friend.
Mm-hmm.
A guide. A protector. Adorable.
Do any of those sound close?
Somewhat.
So cute.
Yeah, somewhat.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not any one thing. I'm somewhat of a lot of things.
It is
That is
a
true.
true pleasure to meet you somewhat.
It will
Somewhat.
be my honor
Aw.
to serve you.
You've already done more for us than you know.
Oh, Little.
You do feel familiar. Like a happy dream I can't remember.
Oh.
I'm so glad we
Oh my
got to meet you.
gosh. Don't cry, don't
I'm
cry,
sure
don't
you'll
cry.
help lots of people. But now we have to say goodbye.
Oh.
It will be all right, Huntress.
Oh.
Hey, somewhat?
I am at your service.
Will you look after Juniper?
Oh.
She means the world to me.
I will never leave her side.
Looks like the world of the Ever After does have a new protector. Might have a new sort of person look over after. I cannot speak. I'm just. Team Rwby is heading back to Remnant. Oh, that's cool. Wish they were standing in order though. Whoa, that's like the dreamscape area from the tree, I think. Or sort of, you know what? It looks a bit like the tree and also the open space from Volume 8 as well. So it's all connected. Oh, here's the blacksmith. Oh, the bird guy.
Welcome
Somewhat Juniper,
to my
Herb,
workshop.
maybe even Ruby down there.
Ruby? Is this the tree?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I've been waiting a long time for you.
Well,
Holy cow, she's massive.
I made it.
I'm glad you did.
I thought Ruby was just really small.
Can you answer
That
a
looks
question?
like the god.
I need to know if it's true what the
Juniper.
cat said, that Lewis went back and Alex...
Yes. Only Lewis returned home. The girl who fell through the world.
Yeah, I'm not
is
sure what
the
happened to
story
Alex.
As he wished it had
The
happened.
gods! Those are literally the gods!
Are those?
The brothers.
How? Who
Yes.
are you?
These brothers were the tree's earliest blossoms, and
Oh
the
my
first to inhabit the ever after.
Gosh.
Remarkable beings, very ambitious.
So she is
the
like
tree did not foresee what they would become.
God. Not them.
That's the joy of creating.
The
and
brothers
not
of light and
knowing.
dark. I guess that makes sense. Holy cow. Oh, we're getting
Back
big
then,
lore drops.
the
Holy
ever
cow.
after was overgrown, wild and dangerous. The brothers remained to help tame it and build the world
They're so
that was
cute.
to
That's
come
so
out.
cute.
First, they were given the power to destroy, to clear the wilderness away. Then they were given
Interesting.
creativity
So their
to imagine what
aspects are
and who could
set in
replace
roots.
the
So he can
wilderness.
create and the other one can
The
destroy.
brothers built homes for them
Of course, the goat is eating
and
everything.
gave them roles to play.
And
If
that's
this is
how
what
the
they were
original areas were
supposed to
like.
How did Remnant come about? Us.
That is a deep question.
The brothers grew curious. They wanted to do more.
I'm guessing they.
And so, using the
Yes, they sort of
skills
evolved.
and tools they had been given, they began to design their own creations.
So they get strong enough to basically be
Secrecy.
relatively on the same level as the blacksmith. They also created a
Soon
curious
they
cat.
realized their new creation could do their job for them.
Oh,
Finding
the
broken
Industrial
parts of the
Revolution,
ever
basically.
after. After this success,
Purring,
the
literally.
brothers designed a second creature to finish what the cat started.
The blacksmith?
It came
Oh, the
out
Jabberwock.
brutal and effective.
Spooky.
One brother believed they had disrupted the balance, while the other refused to condemn their creations for their mistakes.
Of course. Back
The
at it again.
balance is not two forces locked in never-ending
And now they're
battle.
closer to
Balance
what they
is
ended
an
up as.
ecosystem, an organism, a living, breathing thing. Thus, balance cannot be restored with force or calculation. True balance finds its own equilibrium. It only requires love and the patience to see things through to the end.
A rose. Oh, it's all the flowers.
So, how did
Yeah,
they get to Remnant?
Of course.
The Ever After could no longer bear the brothers' experiments.
Yeah.
And so,
That makes sense.
the tree built them a special doorway.
The
to a
tree built
greater
them
beyond,
a special
where
doorway.
the brothers
Interesting.
could try creating worlds of their own.
Worlds of their own,
A
huh?
doorway that would remain open for the brothers' return, and any of their creations. And what truly remarkable things they accomplished. Whenever the brothers' creations have come to the Ever After, the 5 of you have had a greater impact than you know.
Huh.
Just like Alex and Lewis did before you. Just like others will after you.
Somewhat. So cute.
One
So cute. I
small
want that model.
kindness in one small moment
Mm-hmm.
led to such a marvelous transformation.
Right. That answers their
Much like
question,
one
so they
act
won't
of
be
dishonesty
thinking about that.
caused an unfortunate change.
Alex broke her promise to the cat.
A terrible thing to have a broken heart.
And the curious
And there
cat
was
did.
nobody to send them back to the tree for repair.
What will happen to Neo?
She will have the chance to return her broken heart and become something new. Such is balance.
Oddly cool, okay.
That's Alex's knife. Wait, how do you have this?
When Alex's life ended, she chose to leave a part of herself behind. A wish to fix what she had broken.
And that's the knife. Oh. To put Sean back together. I think he's still got a little gray in his hair.
I can't believe it.
Oh.
It's been so...
This is what I sounded like.
That's funny. I think I got so used to his old voice that I didn't
Where
notice
will
it was
this
so
take us?
mature.
Not where,
When?
when you are needed most.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, please don't tell me they leave it on a cliffhanger that big. Ruby, turn around. Do the little thing, turn around.
Thank you.
And that is the ending of the Ever After, and probably Volume 9? Oh my gosh. They're in vacuum. Atlas is there, relatively. What happened in the time that they've been gone? And with that, that is most likely the end of Volume 9? And it is. Wow. Holy cow. That was great. Of course, I will leave this up. Make sure to go and look through all these amazing creators and stuff like that. Crazy. Probably one of the best volumes they've ever made before. I put it up there with Volume 3, Volume 1, stuff like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, obviously a lot of people went into this. A lot of voice actors. Seeing Jen Brown reprises Pira Nikos, very cool. Of course, Rwby. Oh my gosh. Art direction, absolutely insane this season. We're just gonna go over the episode. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see Rwby not necessarily evolve, but to really grow, not needing necessarily the tree to change her in any sort of way, and also realizing she didn't need to change. My hair looks. She didn't need to change. She was already good enough at that point. So yeah, that's a very wholesome ending to her story when it comes to the majority of, I guess, her depression in the sort of sense. Obviously, this isn't some fairy tale where everything goes away and everything's a happy ending, but she's really started on her recovery path. Is the best way to put it, I guess. With that, Team Rwby it's more like Rwby is now back in Remnant, but we don't know what time they're back in Remnant, as we left Remnant at the very end of Volume 8, where Winter was leading the rest of whoever's left out into the sandstorm that was the kingdom of Vacuo. And by that time, other Atlas airships, I think I saw the Atlas, like, the big building, what's it called, where the Vital Festival is held. I think I did see that there. So I think there's going to be a type of time skip where we don't have to worry about sort of like, we're rushing to make sure everybody's okay, stuff like that. I think we'll get a little bit of a gap where Juniper's gonna think they're all dead for a little bit. But what's this? I didn't hear this. This I think is the same song that played during Ruby's Ascension. Really cool. But so cool. Yes, Casey Lee Williams and Martin Gonzalez. Those are the two now leads for all of Ruby music. Trapdoor, Die My Way. Red Like Roses Part 3. Wow. Checkmate, Worthy, Quiet the Edge. So cool. Production babies. It's been a couple years, that makes sense, and all the special things and everything. So, I'm getting super sidetracked here. It's just, I'm gonna go pure raw on all these emotions and words and stuff like that. But, yeah, so we most likely will see a bit of a time skip when there's a Volume 10. With that, we also get to see Team Rwby just mess up the cat finally. So cool, great fight animation for that. Let's double check there's no like end credit.
The Grim in the Forest.
I was about to say. So this is the look towards the next Rwby thing, and quotations. But this is the next Rwby thing, which is Rwby Justice League.
Destroy humanity.
This is part 1. I think we get part 2 maybe 2024.
It's about your heart.
But this is why we got to see them in the original models so easily, especially like Pyrrha and stuff like that, is that they already have these models on hand because of this movie. This is also part of the sort of production delay a little bit for Volume 9 was Rwby Justice League, the superheroes and huntsmen. That's gonna be very cool. I'm not sure if I am gonna react to Rwby Justice League, at least not in full. It might be like cut up and stuff like that. I get notifications on my phone. I'm not sure if I'll react to the entire thing, but probably most likely a cut up version if I end up reacting to it. With that, insanely good volume. Great way to end it off. I feel like everybody has sort of got a happy ending. Even the Curious Cat, which will now be healed. He wasn't able to heal himself, and he didn't understand that he could put himself back to the tree. Also, Neo getting her happy ending as well. I felt that was very fair, and she fits. She fits in that world. She understands that. I mean, if she goes back, she'll be probably charged as a war criminal at that point. She worked with Salem, with Cinder, with all these terribly bad people. So it makes sense for her to stay in the ever after and not get tried for her crimes, and also be in the place where she can find herself again. She has no purpose in Remnant. She has no purpose in her life, and that's why the Curious Cat took her over so easily. Neo gets her happy ending. The Curious Cat gets her happy ending. Rwby gets to sort of find herself again by finding herself. Like I mentioned earlier, she didn't need to change for anybody. She just needed to be herself. And this is merely just the beginning of her journey to full recovery of herself. But, I mean, that intro, so cool. At first, I thought she was in her Volume 1 outfit for a second because of the silhouette, which was such a cool callback to bring back the white, the black, the red for that. They nailed it. I mean, it was a very big moment, and they stuck the landing somehow. Crazy. So good. Of course, seeing everybody use their semblances at the right time, and it's great. It's so good. Of course, there's probably other criticisms I can talk about when I'm not super hyped up, like, this was an insane volume. But I don't want to think about that. That's why a lot of my reviews have been very positive, is that I'm a very positive person when it comes to Rwby, when it comes to most media content. And I love this show, and I've loved what they've done this volume. So I'm going to be extremely happy when I see stuff that is very fan servicey, as Red Like Roses coming back, which was such a cool call. I love that. I think it was expected, but still so good. We also got Jean's happy ending. While he definitely recovered a lot more at the very end of that volume, seeing the little geomancers and understanding that what he was doing wasn't necessarily completely in the wrong, as he was initially saving them from themselves, but was preventing them from what they wanted instead of what he wanted. He was able to recover in some sense since losing Alex, since losing Pyrrha, since losing Penny, but I feel like Jean is on the right track now. And also Alex using her last sort of wish and gifting his youth back to him. She wanted to fix one last thing that she felt she broke, which was Jean. So Jean also gets his happy ending. And also back to, hey guys, it's Jean here, which I didn't notice. I didn't notice he sounded that sort of nerdy until he went back to his normal voice. They've left it off on a great note that in any sort of format can become a volume 10, whether hopefully that is a volume 10 show, maybe that is a volume 10, 11, 12 movie that's a couple hours long, or a volume 10 book, which I'd read, but I really want to see it animated. I think no matter what, from here on out, we will see the ending of Rwby, whether volume 10 is picked up or not. Now, I did see a post, I might post it here if I can find it again, but that the Rooster Teeth team is in talks with Crunchyroll to get a volume 10 rolling, as it seems like they will be looking for funding or something from Crunchyroll and not from Warner Brothers. I'm not sure whether they're looking for a full funding from Crunchyroll or a partial, or some of it's coming from Warner Brothers, some of it's coming from Rooster Teeth proper. I'm not sure, but it seems like there is a bit of a complicated process into going into that, and that a volume 10 I would reasonably place not in 2024, but maybe a 2025 expected release date, especially since a part 2 of the Rwby Justice League movie is most likely in 2024. So we'll get the Justice League movie on the 25th, I believe, and then 2024 we get part 2, and then 2025 we maybe get Rwby Volume 10, maybe 11, 12, depending on how much they can get greenlit. If they can get Volume 10 greenlit, they're probably going to get the other 2 greenlit, purely because this volume has been such a spectacular success, I feel, purely from an animation, a voice acting, a reaction standpoint, tons of memes and talking about Rwby, even if not all of it is necessarily positive. I feel like that's the norm for Rwby content. I feel like you have a lot of people who are like still following the show, absolutely love it like me, but also you have the other camp, which was show died in volume 3, never seen it ever again. Also, I hate the newest volume. Either way, you're gonna get publicity out of the 2 camps. So I feel like I'm like pitching Rwby. I don't have to do that, but look, listen, just give me volume 10. I'll be happy, and then we'll move on together to volume 11 and 12 as well, and then maybe 13, 14, 15. Actually, let's go to volume 20. Why not? Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. I think I'm losing my mind knowing there's no Rwby next week, and I don't know what to do with my Saturdays anymore. Hey guys, I just rewatched volume 9, episode 10. Real fast, I'm probably cutting myself off somewhere, a part of this conversation thing. 2 things I actually just missed. I forgot to talk about Summer Rose. What the heck? So it is now officially confirmed that Tai Yang wasn't the last person to see Summer Rose, as actually most likely Raven. It is very interesting to see how Raven was the last person to actually see Summer Rose, most likely. And also, this might be the reason why she isn't around her kids anymore, as she might blame herself for getting Summer Rose killed. Crazy to see that. And of course, Bernie coming back, I forgot to mention that. That's crazy to see that. I also did notice that he's still, I think, an executive producer, I believe, on Rwby, which is cool. I did also notice, not the end credit song, but the song before that, where we're seeing the effects of Team Rwby, the God story, stuff like that. It's playing a rendition of the Volume 1 intro, but a lot more soft. So you hear the da-da-da-da. You hear that melody played multiple times. I'm not sure if there's other volume melodies that are in there, but that's what I heard at least. Yeah, I think those are the only things I missed since my rewatch. Since I wanted to get a quick rewatch in just in case I missed anything about talking, and I did. I missed the summer thing somehow. I don't know how I forgot to talk about that. Okay, anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video or whatever. So that was my reaction to Rwby Volume 9, Episode 10, the Of Solitude and Self. There's no the, it's just Of Solitude and Self. I don't know why I put a the. Now, don't go anywhere, as Rwby content will be still going on even if there's no Rwby, as each Saturday from here on out, for at least the meantime, will all be Rwby focused. So I will be doing a Rwby merch review sometime soon. I think the next one might be my Rwby tier list, which is going to be a lot of fun to make. As well with that, I did a very funny video with my friends talking about the Rwby characters who have never seen Rwby before. So I hope you guys tune in for that one. That was a hilarious shoot and also going to be a nightmare to edit. Oh my gosh. And also I might do a Rwby reaction to the Rwby Justice League movie as well. I don't know yet. Don't hold your breaths or breath. I don't know how many breaths you have, but don't hold them. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the Rwby season and hopefully not series. And I guess I'll see you next time. Oh, and make sure to go follow my other stuff as well. All my socials down below. More gaming videos coming on Thursday at every 2 p.m. And make sure to check out my content at 2 p.m. every Thursday and Saturday. I have a gaming video every Thursday and Rwby stuff every Saturday. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I guess I'll see you next time. Yeah, and that's the end of Rwby. Forever? What am I gonna do?